In the early 1940s, a chance encounter between Walt Disney and Salvador Dalí resulted in an incredible partnership that would change the face of animation and art history forever.
When people hear Dalí and Disney in the same sentence, they're shocked. They just don't believe these two artists were able to work together or come together. But they actually did, because the Walt Disney Studios during that time period, after the release of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, became a hotbed of artistic activity. Dalí felt that animation was the next step in his evolution of surrealism. He wanted to bring some of his paintings, some of his vision to life. And so who better to do it with than the best American animator at the time, Walt Disney.
We're unquestionably talking about two of the great creative geniuses of their time, collaborating on a single piece of music to make a single film. Dalí had been involved in lots of other motion pictures, but this is the first one that's really just all him. It's completely different, and there's nothing like it that was ever created before or since.
Salvador Dalí was in Hollywood. He was working at the Warner Brothers Studios. He was working on a film that was being directed by Alfred Hitchcock called Spellbound. And Jack Warner, who owned Warner Brothers, he ran the studio, had a party one weekend in August of 1945, and Dalí was there, and so was Walt Disney. That's where they first met, and a friendship was sparked. Destino began in early 1946 when Salvador Dalí came to the studio. Once he had picked the song My Destiny of Love as the theme, he started coming up with the ideas of what the story was going to be. And simply put, Destino is a love story. It's about a young woman's quest for love and the false starts she has to go through to get to it. Destino had well over 130 storyboards done for the film initially. Out of the 7 finished paintings that Dalí did, 6 of them are actually in the film.
The Destino collection from Park West Gallery includes images from the film and also images that were created in storyboard form by Dalí but didn't make it into the final cut of the film. So you have some of these kind of hidden images that nobody's had an opportunity to see or collect ever now available.
When you undertake a project like Destino that was it had its beginnings in 1946, and you want to finish a project like that, it's hugely important to try and have original filmmakers. And most people would say, well, 46 years later, who's around? We were fortunate in that John Hench had still been working at the studio. He was 91 years old. He was coming into the office every day. He was an Imagineer. He had transitioned in the mid-50s to help Walt build Disneyland. And he was more than happy to come over and consult with us and tell us the backstory of working with Salvador Dalí and the thinking behind the Destino project. So to bring the project to fruition and have one of the original filmmakers 5 decades later still there was absolutely amazing, and really adds to not only the provenance but the authenticity and the legacy of Destino.
When Roy Disney discovered that the Salvador Dalí artwork that was created for the film Destino was the property of Disney Enterprises, he decided that he wanted to make it available for collectors worldwide. So Disney contacted Park West and offered us the opportunity to represent it exclusively to the world.
When Roy Disney decided to do Destino, he wanted to complete Destino, not only because it was a great project that it was associated with Walt Disney and Salvador Dalí, but it was a way of completing a piece of his family history. What was really gratifying about completing Destino was the fact that the film won numerous awards at festivals around the world. And not only that, we got nominated for an Academy Award. Roy was thrilled about that, and it was recognition within the film industry that we had done something.
There are certain brands that we now identify as legacy brands that really will outlive all of us and be around forever. Certainly Disney is one of those brands, and we have seen in the last 100 years there simply is no one else like Salvador Dalí. Dalí and Disney in one place in these works exclusively through Park West Gallery.